What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. We on our episode six. Episode six. We trying to get more consistent. It's been a minute since we kind of dropped. People have been on vacation. I don't know what to tell you. And also, not to mention, we all have 9 to 5s. This is a little side thing. But I will say, if this thing pops off, this will become a main thing. I'm your host, Ant. Good to see everybody again. And with me, as always, I got the bros with me. How you feeling, Junior?
What's up, everybody? Good to see you.
How you feeling, Dom?
I need a nap.
I will say it is a Friday evening, fresh off of work, during fresh off of cutting grass. It's a good day for a podcast, though, man. We finally talking about football. This is the episode. A couple people have been asking me when y'all gonna talk about football. Now, me personally, I don't know a lot about football. I watch the game. I don't understand the formations, but I know ball a little bit. That's I'm probably gonna leave that to Junior Dom a little bit more when we talking about that. Also, we got college basketball starting up this week. So in the next couple of episodes, we're going to talk a little bit about college basketball. We're going to talk about the number one draft pick at BYU. I forgot his name, AJ.
AJ.
Yeah, AJ. He apparently had a good first game. We're gonna check it out. But we were talking about having guests on the show, and maybe when we hit episode 10, we may have some people that will surprise y'all. But for that time being, stay tuned. We got some good topics coming up. Okay, for our first topic of the day, a word we all despise: load management. Honestly, I think I feel for everybody else. I'm starting to not like the NBA because of load management. And you know what? I blame one person, and I think y'all can agree with me. I blame Kawhi Leonard. Can we blame Kawhi Leonard coming off that championship run after the Raptors went to Clippers and decided to sit out the whole season just about? Now he might have had an injury. He may have had an injury. I don't know. But
When isn't he injured? So
yeah.
That's facts.
And you know what? That's what he gets for load managing when he was in his good years. And now he's a little bit older now, and he's just getting hurt all the time. We can also blame some other people. They feel like the other person is Joel Embiid, and I think he does it to troll people. But in my opinion, I'm not a biggest fan. And you know who else isn't a biggest fan? Don't like load management at all? Michael Jordan. He was in the news recently, being critical of load management, and he states it's unnecessary and a disservice to the fans. He believes players have a duty to perform for the paying fans and sees every game as an opportunity to prove themselves to entertain those who spent their hard-earned money to watch. Now, I'm not even saying I wholeheartedly agree with this statement. Say, for example, LeBron comes to Charlotte, right? And we tickets like 150, but shoot, that's LeBron. You're gonna play. You're gonna pay that price. You pull up and you see him in street clothes. That's kind of like a shot to the gut, basically, because it's like, man, I spent all this money. Now,
It's a
granted,
scam.
yeah, you feel like you got scammed. Now, granted, you get to see Luca. That's potential. That's greatness right there, honestly. But still, you pay good money to see LeBron. So, I just want to get y'all's input on load management. Load management. Do you believe players are abusing it, or they may be in the right?
Hmm.
What do y'all think, Junior? You can go first.
well, I think when you look at load management, I think there's two type of people. I think there's those that need it, and then there's those that don't. Right. So you mentioned a couple names. You mentioned Joel Embiid. He needs load management. Kawhi Leonard. This man has not just arthritis in his knees. He has like some degenerative arthritis that is eating away at his kneecaps, basically. He needs load management now, right? And there's probably a couple other people I can't really think of right now that, that need it. So in that aspect, load management is good. But to say like, oh, I need load management because I don't feel like playing or just because I'm tired, well, then that's actually, yeah, like you said, that's a disservice to the fans. And like Michael Jordan said, you need to be doing everything that you can to prove the fan that like make that's an opportunity to prove to the fans that I'm the best, I'm the greatest. You see, Mike was talking in that interview, he said, I had to go out there and I had to perform. He's like had a twisted ankle, come out the game for a few minutes, wrap that bad boy up tighter, and keep going because he had to prove even to the man sitting with his back to the wall that was yelling at him, he had to shut him up. You know, that's the type of attitude that's a mentality that a lot of players nowadays don't have. And with with doctors and medical, professionals and stuff like that, they don't want guys to play hurt anymore. And it's understandable because it usually dominoes, right? You got a foot injury, it goes to the ankle, and then your calf is strained, and then you done tore your Achilles, right? It kind of builds on itself. So again, I go back to my original point. Load management for those that need it is a great thing. If you only can play 40 games a season and then get ready for the playoffs, that's fine. You need that. But if you load managing just because you don't feel like playing or because you just tired, you gotta lock in mentally.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And one thing about one thing you said, it was very different back in the day because he mean we got the flu game, we got Jordan when he was sick, we got Jordan when he came back. I forgot what. It might have been Madison Square. He decided to wear those Jordan ones, and
Mm.
his foot was bleeding. Y'all remember that segment in The Last Dance?
His
His
last
foot,
dance. Yeah.
his foot was literally bleeding, but he said, "I was hooping. I wasn't about to hop out that game." And don't forget, Detroit Bad Boys, Isaiah Thomas. You remember I think he broke something and kept playing.
Yep.
Finished the game out. I mean, he didn't finish the
Yep.
playoffs out. I mean, the rest of the series, but he kept playing.
Yep.
Nowadays, you got these people who sprain their thumb, they'll like twist their ankle,
Yep.
and then this and that, and they just out 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks.
There's an OG from back in the day. I can't think of his name off the top. I want to say Moses Malone, but I might be wrong. Or might maybe Bernard King. One of those two guys, they tore their hamstring
Mm,
in the
I know who you're talking
game.
about. I just can't think of the doggone name.
They came in, wrapped that bad boy up, and he still was playing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a mentality that cats have nowadays. You know,
nah, I
people
think.
people
That
don't want to do that.
that's low key the reason why basketball is falling off right now. It's because really, if we're being honest with you, cats don't want to hoop. They really don't want to hoop anymore. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for right now.
No, I can agree with you. I think the last really person who actually enjoyed hooping was Kobe. I mean, he tore his Achilles,
Achilles.
tore his Achilles. Look, he got up by himself. I mean, he got some help from his teammates. He got up by himself, shot his
Walk to
free
the free throw
throws,
line.
walked to the
Yeah.
free throw, made his free throws, and walked off the court. Nowadays, you got these other. Now, I'm not saying I've never torn anything. Junior tore his stuff before. I ain't saying that I'm gonna tell my junk and then I'm gonna get up. That's You're a professional basketball player, though.
Getting
Professional
paid
athlete.
millions. Getting
Yeah,
paid doggone millions.
yeah.
Yes. If it's
But you got to
something,
remember, like I said, it's a mentality
It
at the end of the
is.
day.
yeah,
It's
It
all
is.
about your mental. If you're mentally strong enough to fight through injury and play, okay, well, that's between you and your doctor. If you're not mentally tough enough to say, you know what, Kobe was a different beast. We all know that. MJ, was a different beast. We all know that. Kobe tore his Achilles, and this man was trying to pull his Achilles back down so he could
mhm.
finish the game. You know, that's not a mentality that guys have nowadays. Respectfully, it's not a mentality that anybody can match. That mama mentality is a real thing. You
Yeah.
know,
Not to mention, he dislocated his thumb one time, and then he went to the bench,
Had
popped
to
it
pop
right
it back
back.
in. Yeah.
Different dog. Different
And
dog.
then and then he had it was something else with his shoulder. I think he tore his rotator cuff or something like that.
rotator cuff.
He
Yep.
shot with the opposite hand for the whole doggone game.
Mhm. Yep.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like players have gotten soft now. Like I get that you have like little injuries here and there, but then like y'all said, you have players that need it and then players that don't need it.
Yeah.
Uh, hear me out. Hear me out. When you're going to the NBA, I ain't even gonna say when you're going to the NBA. From the time that you're in high school, going on to college, going up to the NBA, your fan base is building and building, especially if you're gonna be like a top 15 recruit. So it's high key selfish when we're talking for a personal experience because we're living in a state right now that don't have a good basketball team. So when we go to those games, it's to see those other players, those star players.
Yep.
So anytime that you see that oh, that star player is gonna be out because of rest. That's just doggone selfish. You know
It's a
what your
slap.
fans base is. Yes, yeah, yeah. Like we're going there to see you. We're not going there to see our home team. We're going there to see you.
Yeah, yeah,
It's ridiculous. Like Junior said, you do have some players that absolutely need it. That's cool. That's fine. Y'all do you. But then if you just want to sit out of the game, oh, because this team is trash, I shouldn't have to play. We're still gonna win this game. That's it's selfish. You gotta do better. Y'all mentality has to be better. Y'all hooping just like I give you the best example. Paulo Bencaro.
mm,
That man when he was at Duke, he kept on getting cramps. He really wasn't hooping like that. But as soon as he gets to the NBA, what is he doing? He's hooping on a consistent basis.
hmm
Now he has like one serious injury. He had one serious injury where he had to set up a couple of games, but he's been hooping. But I told y'all this when he was at Duke. I said he's hooping like a number one draft pick.
yep,
These cats are hooping like they're getting paid millions. Jordan and them they was getting paid millions too. But those injuries, they kept on hooping through it. Kobe kept on hooping through the injuries. They just got to do better. The NBA players has to do better. I don't care if they take any offense to this. Y'all are too doggone soft nowadays. Like it's ridiculous. Hoop like y'all are getting paid millions.
yeah.
I've hooped the injuries before. I'm pretty sure y'all done hooped the injuries before. I know y'all done hooped the injuries before. They sit out for a doggone jam thumb. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't doggone make sense.
Yeah, no, you're right. I actually, not to put myself on an NBA level, but I remember my very last rec league game that I ever played. I actually was still running a fever of probably about 101, and I told Dad, I was like, "Hey, this is my last game. I'm still going out there and playing." And we ended up winning the game, but man, that was that's it. Just goes back to the love of the game, really. Do you want to prove that you're the best and shut everybody up, or do you want to just make the money and just hoop when it's convenient for you? So yeah, it really is a slap to the face when these high level athletes don't get over these little minor injuries and just keep on hooping. And really, it doesn't help them to sit out because of rest, because especially if it's a newer team put together, because you got to think about team chemistry too, right? Your team chemistry is not gonna be built. Every game you play, that chemistry is built. You're building that relationship, you're building trust in each other, you're building engagement as teammates, right? So, sitting out doesn't it might help you physically, yeah, for that moment, but it's not gonna help your overall teammates, because playoff time's coming, you ain't gonna have no time to rest. So
Yeah. No, yeah, I understand. I guess I would have asked Dom for his, but Dom already gave his part. That man's so passionate about the game. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but yeah, it really is just a slap to the face. But I mean, there's people who need it. I feel like there's some people out there abusing it. So I don't know. A second, like a little two-parter, because I already asked the first question. Do you feel like when you so we can say that Kawhi Leonard, all these other people that are doing this load management, they're up in age. Um, if I was to hear, for example, that Ace Bailey is on load management, I'd be upset. One, he's young,
young boy.
freshman. There, that shouldn't be a thing. Rest. What you resting for? You gonna call out on a? I compare it to like an actual job. I'm always tired. I'm gonna be tired before I go to work. That means I'm gonna call out. No,
You just gotta lock in.
Yeah.
you just gotta lock in. So, does it when y'all hear that a young player like that, and this is no shot to Ace Bailey, he's just the first person came to my mind. Actually, that is a shot to Ace Bailey. He averaging 5 points. How about you do better? But no, I'm
Yeesh.
kidding. My fault, Ace. My fault. I don't want no smoke.
Heck no. You gotta stand 10 toes on that. I call out a bunch of players right now that be doing that jump because
Well,
they gotta start hooping. Like bump all that. Like they gotta start hooping. It's ridiculous.
yeah, but when y'all hear a younger player doing load management, how does it make you feel? Like, obviously it's not as comparable as an older person, but I like me personally, I don't like it. I feel like if you under the age of 20, you do not need to be doing load management.
Yeah. I mean, really and truly, I I guess it again it's situational. I guess, is he fighting an injury, or is he just doing it for rest? you know.
What if it says rest?
Well, then that's absolutely insane,
It
Is
is.
you
that
know. I mean, but coming into the NBA, these young guys, yeah, they have the college experience and the high school experience. So they worked hard to get to where they're at. But working hard in the NBA is, completely different than working hard in college ranks, right? So yeah, they might actually be tired. And if you're too physically tired, obviously it can be detrimental. But sometimes you gotta fight through that and just build your body up through that tiredness. So if you can't, if you're tired and you can't crash through that wall, so to speak, and take yourself to the next level, well then honestly you might not ever achieve your full potential, right? So I think in just that regard, you got to be able to, be mentally strong enough to again bust through that wall. Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm gonna keep on going, you know. Uh, so uh, that just takes time, really and truly, I think. But it's a little concerning when a young player needs some rest. I think about Quentin Richardson playing for the Colts last year when he tapped his helmet and needed out. I don't know if y'all remember that, but he
yeah.
got tired, tapped his helmet, and said, "I need out." Had to come out the game for a few plays because he was tired, and we was like, "Hmm, we ain't never seen people on ESPN, NBC, everywhere. They was like, we've never seen that before from a young quarterback coming out of the game because he was tired." And that's what he said in the press conference. He was like, "Man, I was tired." It was like, "Dang, what you doing then?"
Right.
So in NBA, I guess it's kind of the same, like if you got to sit out a whole game because you tired, like what you doing then? You're not recovering right. You're not getting your fluids and your recovery. What are you doing wrong? So
Yeah. No, I can agree with that, but I don't know. I just believe it's ruining the game. It's ruining the game, but I don't know. They need some pre-workout. They need some. Well, they need to get some Michael Jordan Space Jam special juice.
special juice.
They was going along with what Junior was talking about, like you being tired, but you pushing through it. If you look at what the greats have done, LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, even I was looking at Mind the Game on YouTube, and Curry was talking about it to where he probably wouldn't have been the person that he was if he didn't put that on court and off the court work in. I'm pretty sure you be tired. You're working out the night before a game. You're gonna be tired while that game is going on, but you just got to
Hmm.
push through it. That really separates the boys from the men
Hmm.
because these little boys they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm gonna sit out this game." But I got like also what you also was saying too. It's situational because if you have had like little small nagging injuries here there in college and you get in the NBA and you do have like load management, you need to take a break from just one game, then that's cool because you know your body. But if there's nothing wrong with you, you has no history of injuries, you don't have any injuries recently in the NBA, then you need a doggone hoop because you are for it's two things with that. One, you're pushing your body to the limits and pushing it past that. So which means you finding out what your body is made of, your team is finding out what your body is made of. And then two, it make me think of the OKC. Make me think of OKC right now. They are a young team right now. So your team is finding out what you're made of right now. So they'd be like, oh, well, when he push past his limits, he's good in this area, but he's low in this area. So let's pick up in this area. Like Jimmy said, it's all about building chemistry. When you work as a team and keep on pushing past, you're finding out what your team chemistry is. And like we always thought, what we talked about before, you can have one star player, but then you got to have a bunch of role players. Those role players will pick up what you're weak in as a team. So it's just that they just got to do better. They have to want to hoop right now. They don't want to hoop.
Yeah.
Let's take away load management for 3 years, three doggone years, to see what happens.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think one thing they could do too, just a little side note. I know that there's a minimum number of games that you have to play in order to be like all pro, stuff like that. I don't think there's a minimum for all star. I think there might be. I'm not sure, but if they make the penalty, for missing too many games a little more severe, right? The 82 games in a season, right? Like if you miss more than, I don't know, 15 games, which I don't think is quite that severe, but if you miss like 10 to 15 games, and then you can't make all pro, you can't make all star, you can't do none of that, right? That might be a something that could keep people, because everybody, I look at making an all-star game and making all pro team totally different. Like if you an all pro, all first team all pro, you the best, you know top five players, in your positions, you know. Second team, you a top 10 player in those positions, you know what I'm saying? So those are high honors. So maybe that's something that the NBA could look at doing.
Yeah. Well, y'all heard it from top three. NBA, actually, hashtag make NBA great again. Get rid of load management, or make it more specific. One or the other.
Mm.
Demetrius Jamal, aka Ja Morant, and the Memphis Grizzlies have been experiencing recent tensions. And by tensions, I mean that he don't look like he want to be there anymore. Um, I do want everybody to do something. If y'all look up that recent game they played against the Lakers, just see what percent of hooping he was actually doing. I remember watching the game before all this stuff came out on the media, and I'm like, he's not hooping. It was weird. It
Yeah.
was on transition defense. He was running really slow. When he would get the ball, usually John Morant, he'll
First up the court.
yes, first step quick. I didn't see none of that. And apparently, there was some stuff going on. He got suspended one game, but who knows? As the season goes on, it might be more games to come. And I don't know if y'all saw that new video that came out. Kevin Durant, my goat, was talking to T. Morant, John Morant's dad, on the sidelines. I guess they just played the Grizzlies. Kevin Durant was like, he don't even want to be here no more. He don't want to be here no more. So, I mean, it's everybody knows. So apparently something's going on with the coaching staff. Something's going on with John Morant. At the end of the day, it kind of sounds like he don't want to be there no more. So we all feel a certain type of way about John Morant. So let's just talk about how this whole situation is playing out right now. Dom, how about you? How about you start, Dom?
Little do y'all know, I've been waiting on this moment. John Morant slander.
2025.
2025 going on to 2026. Shoot. First of all, let's go and get this out of the way. Do you really want to be in the NBA is my question. Because you know what you done in the past. I ain't even got to bring it up. You're making doggone millions to hoop. To doggone hoop. Do better, son. I get if you having problems with management. I get if you're having problems with your coaching. But everybody has that. Bron has that. But look what team he's still on. He's still on a doggone Lakers. He was having problems with Lakers management, but he's still there. There has to be a certain extent in your career to where you gotta grow up and put your big boy pants on and still doggone hoop. I don't care if you're having problems with your management. Your fan base is there to see you. There to see you to be John Morant, who John Morant is, ever since college, ever since high school. He really got focused on in college, but your whole playing career, you're known for being the flashy, the most athletic. Hoop, dog on it. You gotta hoop. You're getting paid millions. If I got paid millions to hoop, I could have doggone arguments every time I go in that locker room with my management. But you ain't gonna see that on the court. You ain't gonna see that on the court. It's a timely place for everything. It's a doggone timely place for everything. If you have problems with your management, you handle that in private. You don't let that transfer to on the doggone court. You are a grown man getting paid millions with a million people fan base that come there. You're the person that brought the Grizzlies back on the map. You gotta hoop. Put all that bias and stuff aside. If you do have problems with them, be like, hey, look, man, this is a problem that I'm having. Let's try to work it out. If you can't work it out, then that's when you start looking into trading. You don't let one year dictate your playing style. Because it was vital. You're normally the first one up and down the court. But that past game, you were the last one, you were just jogging down the court. You weren't trying to get rebounds. You were just passing the ball instead of trying to go get a bucket. You just got to do better because, like I said, right now, the way it's looking, your track record, you don't want to be in the NBA for real. And this is shots out to you, like shots on you. Like I'm being very disrespectful right now with everything I'm saying. If you can't doggone do what NBA players do, then retire. Dog on retire.
That spoken like a true John Morant fan. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, like,
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think I do agree with you. Like if you having problems with your management, teams, coaches, players, whatever, just keep it in the back. Don't go on the basketball court and give minimal effort and result in your team losing. That's kind of corny to me. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of corny. Junior, what do you think about the situation?
Yeah, I think there's two things that you guys said that really, kind of brings it full circle is corny for one thing. Yeah, the other thing was Dom said, he just really needs to put on his big boy pants and just move on. At the end of the day, he's a professional and he's a grown man. He needs to start acting like one, right? This man, like Dom said, he's getting paid millions and millions of dollars to play basketball. That's something that a lot of us wish we could do, right? Just go out and play the game that we love and desire, and get paid millions of dollars. But I think when you look at John Morant and the way he's playing right now, he's clearly lost his love for the game. The reason why, we don't know, right? Clearly, there's stuff going on in the locker room. Could be stuff going on in his personal life, right? We don't know. But he needs to get back to whatever love he had for the game from back when he was playing well. Whatever was working for him back then, he needs to get back to that. So we could, because we want nothing for the best of him. At the end of the day, I think we were all John Morant fans. Maybe not so much this year so far, but last year, year before that, we was John Morant fans. The story coming out of Murray State, not really. I mean, I didn't really know who he was until the that NCAA until that NCAA tournament run, right? And he just kind of burst onto the scene. Same year as Zion, and we was like, whoa, this guy is something else. He's special, and he gave us some magical moments because he loved the game. He needs to get back to that. You know, but really, it's just like we said. You got to be a professional. Get back to what you love. Find your love for the game, and just do that. Now, the beef with the coaching staff that happens, right? But you gotta leave that on in the administration office, so to speak. You got to leave that in the principal's office, right? When it comes time to play on the court, you got to come out and put your best foot forward because at the end of the day, everybody looks at this like it's a job interview, right? Every day you talk to somebody, when you go out and on that court and you perform, it's a job interview basically. We looking at, okay, what does he do when times get hard? This what he does? Nah, I don't want him. I don't want him. That was kind of the issue with Jimmy Butler, right? Every time he wanted out, this is how he gonna act every time he get out. Nah, or if he want to get out, I don't want that. We don't want John Morant to be another one of them. So talented, so special, but when he won't out, this is the way he acting. We don't want that. So he just need to uh, put on the big boy pants and just go out and hoop. Period.
Yeah, that was honestly, that was kind of like how I actually had Jimmy Butler in my notes. Basically, what was going on. Jimmy Butler, basically every team he played with always had some type of locker room drama. I didn't like the fact when James Harden purposely got fat so he could get traded. I don't like the fact that Ben Simmons refused to start playing with the 76ers just because he didn't want to be there no more. It's kind of like when Anthony Davis didn't want to be with the Pelicans no more. He just kind of like, you know. That's my only thing. I just don't like when somebody is unhappy or they want to be traded. the way that they're doing things nowadays, that's why, like I said, it's another reason why I'm starting not to like the NBA. I was when all the junk came out about John Morant and all those court cases, the gun charges, waving the gun at the other team. I'm like, John Morant talking about a dude who's like, it's right inside my city and grittying every time they win the game. I'm like, that can't be him. Some stuff came out. Yeah, it was actually him. And I just don't understand what's going on. Now, if he's not happy at the Grizzlies, dude, just you gotta suck it up, man. That at the end of the day, like we said, this is a business, and that's your job.
Hmm.
Your job is to perform, is to get a team that's. We've already confirmed that if John Morant is healthy, that the Grizzlies can go far. However, the Grizzlies without John Morant, they're not good. We learned that
Hmm.
last year when they didn't have him in the playoffs. They got smoked. I,
Hmm.
did they even make the playoffs? I can't even remember. It might have been the year before when he was hurt, and they just got smoked without him. Um, I, me personally, I don't know what's going on. So hopefully we get more insight. Shams, if you see this, go ahead, get your get your plug because we know when we see that post from Shams, we know it's real.
Yeah,
Um, Maybe some stuff will come out later, and I'm. It's kind of crazy to say, but I'm still a Ja Morant fan.
me too.
I'm just hoping that one, just don't be corny, and two, hoop man, you got a special talent, and you're
Hmm.
healthy right now, so it's kind of like, what's
You
going
could just
on?
ask for a trade and call it a day, but
Yeah, like we knew that. Dom, yeah, the Zoom picked up your hand. Were you raising your hand?
So I will say I low-key was a John Morant fan when he first came into the NBA, but when he started having all those allegations that was true, he started losing my respect.
mm,
Because all that you are getting paid to do is hoop. I get you want to go outside and have fun, but you're in doggone Memphis. It ain't but so much fun that you can have without getting into trouble. Just shut your tail up, go out there and hoop. That's all that you have to do. That is all that you're getting paid to do is hoop. Like, what more can a man ask for to get paid millions of dollars just to hoop? It ain't much more you can do. It ain't much more that you could doggone do to be successful in life. Like, it just that man got to lock in. He got to do better. He has to do better. If that's the case, like I said, just go ahead and retire. Leave your career off on a decent note, and just leave it to somebody else if you can't do it consistently, rightfully. Like just like he got to do better. It's like I can't say that anymore. Like we got to have hold. Like I've been saying, accountability. 2025, 2026. Hold this man accountable. I
Accountable.
don't care. It should be from now on to where he gets suspended for 20 games. I know that's gonna hurt the doggone Grizzlies, but that man needs to be taught a lesson. Every single thing that he has been accused of, that he has done, money has paid it off. I need to see accountability. Money paying it off is not accountability. He has to do better. He has to do better.
Well, I will say he was suspended last year for those charges, and
For how many games though? Once those accusations got beat, he was back on the court.
he was gone for a good minute. I don't know how many games he was gone, but my
After those accusations was beat, that man was back on the doggone court. He needs to be held accountable.
yeah,
he was
uh,
suspended for 34 games last year.
But
exactly.
this is during the time where the trial was going on and they still was building up evidence. But after all that evidence and everything, he paid the kids off that he had waved the gun at in the park. Then he was hooping back on the court. Suspend that man for a whole season. Matter of fact, he can't even touch foot in the arena.
If it
He
was
has to
David
sit at
Stern, he
home.
definitely would have got suspended for
Right,
the whole
right.
season. David Stern didn't play those games.
Heck no. Like I said, the
Yeah,
NBA is getting soft.
I'm weak.
It is very much a um, player empowered NBA now. Back in the day, it was no, you play for us. That's what David Stern was saying. You play for us, And you, as a representative of the NBA, this is the standard you have to meet. If you deviate from that, there's consequences. And there was no questions, no
Unless you
questions asked,
unless you're Michael Jordan,
pretty much.
who had a gambling addiction and retired from the NBA because they were about to find that man. We all know that.
That's a different story
We
for a
all
different
know
day.
it. That's a different story for a different day. Two-parter, because obviously, John Morant doesn't want to be on the Grizzlies no more. It's kind of obvious. Where do y'all want to see John Morant on a different team? Without holding any bias against the man, Dom. I understand you don't like him. I understand you don't like him. But what is another team that you think John Morant would just he'll because I feel like one thing is that the younger team he's with, he ain't really got no OGs on there to like give him any good advice. Like me personally, let's send him to the Spurs.
Mm,
He ain't gonna act out of place when he on the Spurs team. Like
not in
that's
Texas, not in San Antonio.
Heck no.
I always feel like the Spurs was always a disciplined. Like you got all these other people doing what.
Greg. It's because of Greg
Well,
Popovich.
Greg's not there
He
right
ain't done no
now.
more though.
No, he
Yeah,
ain't. But I'm saying, but that's the only reason why they have been in the past years.
it's
Because that
still
man don't play.
it's still very much a legacy. I would love to see John Morant on the Spurs. I would love to see John Morant in Boston.
Mm,
Put him on a team around some older people that can hoop. And hey, like we all know, you're more than likely the people that you're around, they rub off on your mannerisms. Let's say
mm,
that.
hmm.
So if you're around some people, you know, that don't be wilding out, been in the league for a good minute. They know this and that, right from wrong. Hey, listen to me. I'm an OG. I've been in the league for 15 years. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna give you some real good advice. That's the type of team I think John Morant needs to be on. Me personally, hey, put him on the Spurs. Let him get
How
disciplined.
about how about I got a couple teams in mind. Miami, Sacramento. Okay. How about I was thinking about Houston.
I was thinking about Houston too.
Yeah.
That's the number one team that popped in my head.
You know
But
what?
hear me out.
Yeah.
But hear me about this last team. Minnesota Timberwolves.
No.
I
That
would
big
give.
three between Ja, Ant-Man, and Julius. Oh my God.
I think
That would ooh,
ain't
that would
you
be awesome. Because Mike Conley, he's a great point guard. He's a pure point, he gonna pass the rock, he gonna swing the rock. And you don't like Mike Conley?
go ahead bench Mike Conley, put in my goat Rob Dillingham. Give that boy a shot.
Nah, Rob not anyway. Rob not progressing like they want him to, but it takes time. This
They
is
don't.
second year. This is second year, right?
They giving him no minutes. How is he gonna progress? He
No,
has
he
so
got some
much
burn
talent.
because he played Charlotte the other night when I was there, and he got burned. He got burned. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
He got
because
some run.
it's against Charlotte. They're gonna put like some people out there. You're gonna see some people.
That's your
Come
time to
on,
shine.
man.
I mean, what
I
he gonna do? What he gonna do against a team like LA, or what he gonna do against a Brody in Sacramento? You know what? He.
Well, that's the thing. If he's not out there, I know we're kind of veering off the subject, but I'm a Rob Dillingham fan. I am such. I feel like he has so much potential. If we're like putting him against Charlotte, whatever, Charlotte's like whatever, yeah, cool. And then we're gonna be like, no burn. Fourth quarter, we put him against Lakers. Do you see how the Lakers is built right now? They 6-2. They are hooping. He got to go out there. He gets switched on Luca. He ain't never guarded nobody like Luca before. He's not used to this type of environment. But they get like, hey man, we need you to go out there and just guard Luca real quick and kind of keep up with him. He's gonna get burned, and they're gonna be like, that
I
that
think
Rob's
they
doing.
are trusting in Rob. They just need time to let him develop. By next year, I would imagine that he probably is going to take on a bigger role, like a sixth man role, just from what I'm seeing. Go ahead, let you know. I'm
I
gonna let
hope
you know.
so. He got so
But
much potential.
so maybe Minnesota, but I really think between Miami and Sacramento, I think those are two good fits because Miami needs somebody like him. He got edge, and with the culture that Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley have implemented, I think that's exactly what he needs. Also with Sacramento, still a young team. Um, Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk. Brody is out there. We just talked about him, last episode,
Shout out
and
Brady.
also Demar, Demar Derozan, Zach Levine out there too. I think that could be a great pickup. They probably have to move some pieces. Like I ain't gonna lie, I'd probably move Demar more than likely. Unfortunately, you gotta make some room and have some cap space for a John Morant. You gonna get rid. I mean, if you don't get rid of Demar, you got to get rid of Zach. Which one you getting rid of?
I don't think you want me to answer that question.
Well, I just think that I think DeMar got less years ahead. I think he got more years ahead of him than he do behind him. And Zach Levine, I think he's probably like right in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I think maybe a Ja with a Zach with a Sabonis could kind of work out a little bit better, I think. Because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, jaw driving that rock to the hole and dishing to a Zach or to a Sabonis, I think that's great, in the corner. Go ahead, Dom.
We can't just act like this man that DeRozan didn't drop off the Warriors himself. That
I
man did
didn't.
have 25. You need a vet on a team like DeRozan when it comes to hooping with young cats, respectfully. No disrespect to Zach LaVine. He is a hooper. He is a
Yeah,
hooper.
Could
that's a
we
good point.
say? I mean, Zach Levine ain't really young no more though. He's like in
Not
that middle
really.
age. He's in that middle
I
age.
mean,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. He's not. He's in that middle point.
but
Yeah.
still, on a team like that, you would have to have a vet that been in the league for a minute, and that's what DeMar DeRozan is.
Yeah,
He's
but
like
My
he's
those are the
like whatever.
teams. Those are the
Yeah,
teams I think that Ja could go to and actually have an influence. I think Miami would be the best option, honestly, in my
see,
opinion.
my only issue with Miami, there are too many doggone clubs over there, and I
for
feel
sure,
like he gonna get
for sure.
sidetracked. You know what? I really want John Morant to go somewhere where he can't get in trouble. Go
Houston,
somewhere. Go somewhere in the middle of nowhere that ain't got nothing there. Let's send him.
Minnesota.
Houston.
Let's send him to the Denver Nuggets.
Oh,
Ain't Jack in Denver, but mountains. What
but
is it?
this is the reason why I say like send him to Houston too because Katie ain't gonna play none of that. Like respectfully,
KD not gonna care.
Ah,
KD's not gonna care. KD's like, listen, I'm here to hoop. You do what you want. You either show up
but
to hoop or you don't. And if you're
but
not showing up to hoop, guess what? I ain't got to swing this rock to you.
but here's the
Yeah,
thing. Here's the thing. I feel like he'll be like a big brother to him.
Maybe.
it'd be like the
But I think they should just trade him. I think that'll be the easiest. You know, Ja's not happy.
I don't like we said before. You can be. You don't have to be happy to hoop. Children don't have to be
True.
happy to hoop. Why don't you go out
Yeah.
there and put up your numbers that you've been putting up before? Like we both said before, put on your big boy plans and just hoop. That's all you have to doggone do is just hoop.
yeah. Well, I I'd put out one more team before we go to the next topic. I think the Clippers will be a good, probably a good area because they got a lot of vets. One and two, they kind of need like a younger person out there. Junior shaking his head no, but I mean, I think about discipline. I think CP3, man, CP3 with Ja just to put him in the right direction before he takes off. I think that'd be a good little goodbye at least.
That might be
CP3.
the only name I agree with.
I'll say James Harden too.
Heck,
Bad habits.
didn't James Harden get fat just to get traded? But
Bad
anyways,
habits.
Tight.
We're not
Yeah,
encouraging that.
yeah,
Kawhi
wasn't he seen
Leonard.
in the club? To
Kawhi
get
Leonard.
traded.
Bad habits.
yeah. At least when KD went to the club, he was practicing his shot. Y'all see that? That was
That's
forever
a
my
real
favorite.
that's a real hooper right there.
Forever my favorite video. KD just in the club getting shots up. Like, yeah, but I don't know. John Morant. I guess I don't know. We're probably gonna see some more stuff come out. I don't know. If you facing personal issues, hey, I understand it.
I
But
could
man,
care
if you
less. I could care
oh
less if you're facing personal
tight.
issues. Like you're getting paid millions. I can't get over that. You're getting
We
paid
rooting for
millions.
you, Ja. We rooting for you.
Do better. Dog gonna do better. It's not root better. You just gotta. We're holding you accountable right now. If you don't do better, retire. Dog gonna retire.
yeah, we just feel like you're not going at it at the right. at the
You're not
right.
going in the
Yeah,
right. You're on the broad and spacious road right now. You need to be on the cramped and narrow.
yeah.
I tell you.
All right, we on to our next topic. We finally talking about football, and it's a great day to be a Panthers fan. It's a great day to be a Panthers fan. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know. Last year, 2-15, 2-15. It was a horrible year. It was tough to defend Bryce, but guess what? We 5-4 this year. Now look, I know 5-4 ain't like the most appealing record, but if you're a Panthers fan, man, we done came a long way since Cam Newton. Um, Shout out to Panthers for giving us Rico Dowdle, not believing in that man, because boy, he's been running
You came
for
from the
the Panthers.
Cowboys, right?
Came
Came
from
from
the
the
Cowboys.
Cowgirls.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Uh, yeah, but oh, shout out to Cowboys too. We beat them. That was kind of crazy. Shout out to Packers. We beat y'all too. Jordan Love, you overrated. That
You're
man
very
threw
overrated.
Micah
threw.
Parsons, overrated.
Overrated.
How many times did he? You know, we'll save it. I'll save it.
Yeah, but we're gonna go over some standings real quick, just of the. Oh, by the way, chat. If y'all didn't know, me and Dom, we Panthers fans, and Junior is a Patriots fan, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the Patriots. Shout out Drake May, UNC alumni. I believed in that man. I hate that. Hate he had
Fuck
to
that
leave us,
man.
but oh okay. Well, also Dom's a Duke player, so that I mean Duke fan. That's probably why he's saying that. So obviously the Eagles 6-2, Cowboys are 3-5. Um, yeah, the Cowboys aren't doing too well. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders aren't doing as good as they were last year. And did y'all see that he doesn't need surgery on his arm? Like what happened? It's saying that he doesn't need surgery. But I thought the way that it turned, I thought he
Well,
had broke.
like to be honest with you, like have well, I ain't gonna say sometimes it could be just a delocation and then dislocation and then like you tear ligaments and then
Yeah.
but that
Yeah,
man didn't tear any
But
ligaments.
but
It's
but
just
sometimes you can just dislocate something and it just
that's true.
be dislocated. You know, it's not a. It's not like a oh it broke. But now the replay I saw, I was like, oh surely he
Yeah,
broke something,
for
tore
sure.
something along with it. But it's amazing that he
Shout out
didn't.
to that
He don't
man.
need surgery.
yeah,
Man built different.
and you know what? This is the Commanders. I don't know what y'all was thinking. Y'all was down 30 points when that game that we thought he had broke his junk. He should have been on the bench. There was no point. There was no way he was coming back. I think it happened in the fourth quarter. Y'all weren't about to
Yep.
make a 30-point run. Have your star player on the bench, man. That was kind of crazy. That didn't make no type of sense.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. NFC South. Obviously, Buccaneers and are 6-2. I'm very happy Baker Mayfield is. I mean,
Getting the
Baker
respect
Mayfield.
that he needs.
Yeah, he's hooping. Like for real. Shout out Baker Mayfield. Right below the Buccaneers, my Panthers. Boy, 5-4, and we play the Saints this Sunday, so we about to be
BTA.
we about to be 6-4. So hey, Falcons they alright, I guess. But let's see. Patriots. Jay, what's your Patriots are 6-2, ain't they?
We 7-2, baby.
7-2. The Patriots are 7-2. This was kind of I wasn't expecting the Patriots to be this good this year. I
Man,
was not expecting it.
I was not expecting it either, but hey, Drake May is really pulling through right now. That's all I can say.
Shout out Duke.
Stephon Diggs
Uh,
left all that stuff that happened on the boat. He left all that behind, thank goodness, and he focused. He's focused. The whole squad is focused. Head coach focused. Defense is top in the league. We in there. Let's go.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. The Patriots, I have little hopes for them. I had little hopes for them.
Y'all,
Cause
ye with little faith. You
Dre,
see that? Let me tell you something.
Drake,
What's wrong with football fans? Period. They have no patience.
that's facts.
Patience is a virtue. All
That's
right.
Hmm.
facts. But
We
here's the
had the
thing.
dynasty, right? We had the dynasty. Tom left. We automatically knew we gonna have to wait. We knew it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We had Mac Jones. We was like, you know what? He's good. We had him for about 3 years. So Mac Jones was good his first year. He almost won Rookie of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. Second year, that was Bill Belichick's fault. They switched out his quarterback coach, gave him a former defensive coach. I don't know how anybody thinks that actually works. And so third year, they was like, yeah, we not really hitting on Mac Jones. I was like, this man is a good quarterback. Now look what Mac Jones is doing in San Fran. They saying that Mac Jones might be the starter for the rest of the year over Brock Purdy.
Yep.
That Mac Jones. Now I will say that system that they running over there is a little different. The coach over there in San Francisco. But hey man, it's a good day to be a Patriots fan. We 7-2. We look, the skies are shining in Foxborough. The sun is shining, I mean, in Foxborough. We at Gillette Stadium. We love it. We doing all right.
But here's the thing about the whole patience part. Coming from a Panthers fan, I seen PTSD coming back. 2015 going into 2016. I said, "Oh shoot, we made a Super Bowl run. We about to be good this year." It's like they took my hopes, they put it on the ground, they stomped on it, they wiped their feet on it, they used the bathroom on it, and then they
They
said, "Hey,
they is David Temper. He did all that
for
to you.
sure,
He
for
did all
sure."
of that.
Because that one year where we had broke our record for drafting most defensive players, we didn't need that. We needed a doggone offensive lineman. We couldn't doggone do jack.
And we wonder why the quarterbacks, I say we because I just pulled for the home team, but they was wondering why, you know, the quarterbacks we had and Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield were so bad. Well, it's because they had to throw the football in less than a second before they was getting hit. That pocket was collapsing fast. But you see that pocket for Bryce Young now
It's open.
is holding.
Oh
I
yeah,
love it. It's holding. Only
yeah.
Thing
five and
is,
four, but they doing all right.
let's go to talk about these Panthers because I have beef with the Panthers from like a few years ago. So,
I mean, what's your beef with the Panthers from a couple years ago?
um, we had a doggone tight end named Darnold. Oh, Arnold. My fault. It was Arnold. In the doggone preseason, this man was cooking.
Mm,
I mean, doggone cooking. He looked like the next Greg Olson.
mm.
And guess what we did?
We
Cut him.
traded.
Traded him for some more defensive players. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. We've been in a weird building phase since Cam left. Um, I don't know. And when we drafted Bryce, I was a little. I'm like, man, he a little. We're gonna
Uh-oh.
go to. It's weird to have like Cam. What like
6'4".
6'5"? I thought Cam was like 6'5", big.
Cam like 6'6", 6'7". He
And then
big
we
boy.
kind of went down to Bryce, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna go to shorter quarterback, bro. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but
Yeah.
I see the vision now. I see the vision. I see what he be doing, man, and I just feel like he gonna take us far. Um, Rico is good. McMillan, he was a good draft. Wow, I didn't realize he was that good. When I saw him, I'm like, I heard he was like, I forgot what accolade he got like in college. They said, nah, he's good, and I'm like, we'll see. And he
Teteral
proved,
McMillan, yeah.
yeah, he proved me wrong. That boy, he can catch. Leggett, man, Leggett, I feel like he got some. I feel like he's not doing as good as he should be doing. Cause I mean, obviously we're running the ball a lot. Cause I mean, Rico he's just a straight dog. It's one of his
But
really good year, but I don't really see Leggett a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but
You know
I
what?
do
Go ahead, Don.
I do have to say something about it though. I get that we're doing good running the ball right now, but guess what we was doing when Christian McCaffrey was there? When he first came into the league. We was running the ball good also then too. But here's the thing. Just because you running the ball good don't mean that you can't mix it up. Because that's the same thing that happened with Christian McCaffrey. We ran him so much to where he was getting doggone injured, back to doggone back.
hmm
You have to mix that passing game up in. I get that. I mean, our pocket, it is holding up right now. But I need it just to hold it up for at least a half a second to a second more right now.
Mm,
Just to give Bryce Young an opportunity to see downfield, make a decision where he want to throw it to.
yeah.
Because if not, we're going to end up in the same situation 2 to 3 years from now with a doggone injured running back and ain't able to get the ball out.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll say I think so question, what happened to Chuba Hubbard? Is he hurt?
Hubbard.
I don't know. I
Because I thought
haven't.
I thought they had played him not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. But they still was giving Rico some snaps. So I don't know what happened to Chuba, but I thought maybe they moved on, not moved on from him, but maybe he's taking more of a backseat. Maybe he's injured. I'm not sure,
Well,
but
if I'm not
mm,
mistaken, he runs behind Dowdle because Dowdle just recently became like the first option for running back.
that's
So
crazy because Chuba is good.
yeah,
Chuba Hubbard is a good running back.
no,
So if
yeah.
they say, "Hey, we're going with Rico," you know, for the foreseeable future, Chuba might move on next year.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Nah, he needs to stay, man. Man, I
But
hate
here's the
when
thing, like,
Chuba was the starter and he was a good starter.
yeah,
I would say Rico, he running like he got some bills to pay.
for sure.
Be honest with you, he just running hard, and he just running like he got like he trying to make it out the hood or something. But hey, that's the type of running back you need sometimes, you know.
I,
But I think I agree with Dom. They don't need to run him too much. However, I will say if you don't run the football, you're not going to win games and you're not going to win championships.
That is very
Period.
true.
Because
That
at the
is
end of the day, when you can run the ball effectively, it stretches the field. It's like having a center or a power forward that can shoot the three really well. Think about what that does to the court, right? It opens up the floor a little more. Same thing with the football field. When you running that ball, man, sometimes they gotta take a safety. You know, they can't go cover two with two safeties at the top. They gotta put one safety, it's cover one, and then they bring in an extra linebacker, and they gotta stack the box, right? So then you do some play action. You fake running the ball. You pull it back, and Bryce is looking, and he throwing that thing to the tight end down the middle, or he throwing it to Tetherall up the side, or he throwing it to Xavier Leggett. You know, so I think you have to run the football effectively in the beginning, early, and then so you can be able to mix it up for a little while, like with when we had Christian McCaffrey. I don't remember who our quarterback was at that time. When we was running Christian very, running Christian a lot, but he was the only option because we didn't trust the quarterback,
yeah.
right? So we was running, and not mixing it up because yeah, play action, incomplete pass every single time. So he was like, we just gonna run Christian four straight times, first down, run him four more times, first down. All right, let's run him twice and then let's throw incomplete pass, turnover on downs. All right, we got to punt. So it was like it was unfortunate for Christian at that time, but I think now Bryce is really good at playing what we call playing with his back to the defense. He can run that play action and then turn and feel confident that there's not going to be a defender right here in his face. So I think we're in a really good position. I'm still a little about Bryce, a little iffy about Bryce sometimes, but I think we're starting to see the pieces come together, finally. I'm still not a fan of David Temper. I think he's the
hmm
worst owner in all of the NFL.
hmm
But you know, let's go
Eh,
Panthers 5-4.
I agree with that also. But then here's the thing that I also would love to see Bryce Young do going forward. Because we seen in that last game to where it was like I want to say it was like 3rd and 5, and Rico was in there, and we just played the Packers, right? The
Yeah, we just
Packers
played
was
Packers.
stacking the middle, so we knew where all that pressure was coming from. I would love to see Bryce Young calling the audible. You don't have to stick to the playbook just because your coach called it.
He's
Calling
empowered to change the play though.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But he didn't. He didn't. You see where the pressure was.
Yeah.
It was plain as day. And the thing is, it was back to back. It was doggone back to back because they had called a timeout. The Packers called a timeout. They came back on the field in the same doggone formation,
Mm.
stacking the middle, but he did not call it audible. They still try to run the ball straight up through the middle. They didn't get anything done. I would love to see for him and Carolina Panthers' sake, calling audible at least a few times a game.
Well, actually, I think they ended up calling a timeout, if I'm not mistaken.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They stacked the middle. They called a timeout. They came back. They stacked the middle again,
Yeah.
and they still tried running the ball straight up the middle. That's the time to where you gotta call for play action.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. But
But
let's.
for his career in the Panthers season, I would love to see him start doing that. Like this is where you got to be like, look, coach, I get you called this, but me being out here on the field, this is what I'm seeing. This is what we should do. This is what my offense should do.
Yeah.
Because there's no way we should have ran the ball. Because I seen that clear as day. I'm not even professional. You shouldn't have ran the ball right then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think too, I want to add something else, trying to switch gears a little bit. You mentioned Xavier Leggett. Evan said he hadn't really seen Xavier like that so far, you know. Um, I think Xavier could be another Debo Samuel, in my opinion. Not just in terms of catch, because we know he can catch, but with Debo, we put him in like these different situations where he has to, he Debo sometimes get the ball out the backfield, you know,
Yeah.
and run it. And I think we can use Xavier Leggett sometimes like that just to give him some different looks, some different touches. Because I think he's big, he's physical, he can catch the ball, but I think we just need to put him in better situations. Almost play him like a tight end, run some short routes and then help get him to catch the ball and use his legs and use his strength and his power to get up the field. So I think we see more if we see more of that from Carolina, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. All right. I got a two-parter for y'all. Two-parter. Obviously, we got MVP and Super Bowl. Um, that's the biggest accomplishments, obviously, throughout the year. Who are y'all's candidates for MVP, and who do y'all think has the best chance to win the Super Bowl? So I'm gonna go first. So my MVP candidate, and this is kind of crazy, but I still believe it should be Josh Allen.
Mm.
Um, I love his consistency. Why am I blanking on that word? I might be Todd, but I love how proficient he is at being a quarterback. I feel like I feel like he's a really true quarterback. You don't really see him scramble out, but he throw the ball like crazy. That boy is just. I love his playmaking ability. I love how calm he is in tense situations, and the fact that they beat the Chiefs. Well, they. I'm not gonna say they dog walked them because it was kind of close in the end because they gave Patty Mahomes 20 seconds like left in the fourth. You never want to do that, but um, I do believe that Josh Allen should get MVP this year. As far as the Super Bowl, me being delusional as I am, Panthers going all the way, baby. Panthers going all the way. We gonna shock the world. We gonna shock the world. And
Yeah.
I'm not even trolling. I'm a huge underdog type of guy. Like look at the Pacers for instance last year. Who would have thought the finals was going to be Pacers against OKC? Nobody could have guessed that.
Mm.
So
Interest.
yeah, I'm always going to pull for the underdog. And right now my Panthers are the underdog, so I'm gonna say my Panthers for the Super Bowl. I know that sounds delusional, but hey, this is the best record we have in a couple years. So. Only good things. It's only up from here. It's only up. Dom, who do you have for your MVP, and who do you think gonna win the Super Bowl?
I'll give you my top three MVPs.
Okay.
Number one would be Josh Allen. Number two, Drake May.
Mm.
Number three, Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
Like, we got to look at Taylor right now. He's putting up some historic numbers.
Hmm.
He always is.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Always putting up. But yeah, that's my top three. And I was just talking to Will about the Super Bowl. I said, look, I said as a Panthers fan, look, we doggone knocked off the Cowgirls. We doggone knocked off the Green Bay Packers. Our next milestone, the Super Bowl. We're going there and we're winning that junk.
Hmm.
Just know if we go there and win that junk, I am popping it.
But
Y'all will hear from me for a month straight. It will be me posting nothing but the Carolina Panthers. It will be nothing else. They might as well go there and sponsor me at this point in time. Because I will be popping it.
popping is crazy. Junior, who you got for your MVP and who you got for your Super Bowl?
So my MVP, um, it's kind of tough, but I like Josh Allen. Um, but I think that Patty Patty Mahomes probably has another great chance to get it again this particular year. I feel like this year we've seen Patrick Mahomes get kind of back to his usual self. He's making more plays with his legs. He's kind of getting kind of we I feel like we're starting to see a little bit of more of that magic happen, so to speak. So I think Patrick Mahomes might get it this year. I'm not sure. His team record is looking okay. Um, but I think overall, I think he has the best chance of getting it. If he doesn't get it, then I really hope like a Jonathan Taylor or a Matt Stafford get it. So, but I think Patrick Mahomes is my pick. As far as Super Bowl, I think this year the Baltimore Ravens are going to get make it and win the Super Bowl. And the reason is because nobody expects them to do it. The last 3 years, we've expected the Ravens to get to the playoffs, win win all their games in the play. The expectations were so high in previous years, right? This year, with no expectations, I truly believe that the Ravens are going to finally break through and it's only because there's no expectations, there's no pressure, right? Because Lamar was hurt, they lost a few games. Um, Nobody's really expecting them to recover, but I think I think they'll be just fine, and they're just gonna fly under the radar, and then bam, they'll get to that AFC Championship. They'll probably beat. I think when they get to the AFC Championship, they're probably gonna end up beating. Shoot, I'm just looking at the teams here. They'll probably end up beating Buffalo easily. I
Mm.
think it'll be Buffalo and the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, and I think the Ravens are going to win. I do think the Ravens are going to be a wild card this year too, though. But I think they'll make it all the way and win the Super Bowl, and I think they'll probably end up going against maybe the Philadelphia Eagles, honestly, again, and they'll curb stomp them. I think, in my opinion. So 'cause I don't think that defense got no answers for Lamar Jackson. To be honest with you. They got answers for, Josh Allen. They got an answer for Patrick Mahomes. They ain't got an answer for nobody with legs like Lamar. So
Yeah. I'm
that's
just
my
saying.
pick.
I'm just saying. The Panthers got the same record as the Chiefs. That's all
Mm,
I'm leaving it there. I was not expecting you say the Ravens. Their record right now is 3-5. They're gonna have to dogfight the rest of the season. They're gonna have to dogfight a
But
little bit, but hey,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. I can also see that too. And now that you bring it out, because within the process of you dog fighting, you're figuring out what's working.
you figuring it out.
mhm.
When
Yep.
you figure out what worked, you could become lethal.
Hmm.
You could become lethal.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I also would love to bring out the Chiefs.
I'm kind of over the Chiefs
I,
winning
I
everything,
honestly
and that
think they're
just
falling off.
yeah, I'm over the
I,
Chiefs winning.
I honestly think that they're falling off, and the reason why I say that right now is because don't get me wrong, their defense is still cool here and there, but Patrick Mahomes, like Junior said, he's having to use his leg more right now, and the reason why he's having to use his legs more right now is because his offensive line isn't holding up. If you look at from them last year to this year, their offensive line is a huge difference. They don't have that confidence in them anymore. Patrick Mahomes don't have that confidence in them anymore. Because the last game that I look at them play against the Bills, he really wasn't trusting his offensive line like that. And reasonably so, because that pocket was collapsing pretty quick.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, but I honestly think that they're going to get through this year. They might have a decent season. They might not. But I feel like next year they're gonna have to like do a semi rebuild. to
Yeah,
get the offensive line back to where they were.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna make this last point because we you mentioned the Ravens are 3-5. Let me just tell you some of their next games.
Okay.
All right. Sunday they play the Vikings. They winning that one?
More than
Probably.
likely.
Like
More than
I can
likely.
Probably.
that's McCarthy, right?
Yeah, may I don't even know if he's starting. He might be starting.
Um,
I don't know.
yeah, they losing that
So,
game.
huh?
Nothing.
They losing that game? You
McCarthy, Loki
crazy.
hoop. McCarthy, Loki hooping though. He hoop. What? Never mind. Keep going.
So, yeah, they Ravens winning that game. Then they got the Browns. Then
Yeah,
they got the Jets.
BTA.
Then they
yeah.
got the Bengals. Then they got the Steelers and then the Bengals again. I
Mm,
think by December 14th when they beat the Bengals for for the second time, I think they'll be above 500 then. Then
mm,
people will start talking about them once again, in my opinion. I truly
yeah.
believe that because they got a, I ain't gonna lie, they got a soft schedule, and that's what they need to get back in that groove and to get Lamar Jackson right where he needs to be at again. So watch out for the Ravens.
Yeah. Well, hey, that was a decent football segment. We're gonna talk a little. I mean, obviously, we kind of shy away from basketball. I mean, football because we talk basketball a lot. I mean, that's just how it is. But I mean, we're gonna have some more football segments coming up. Obviously, there's gonna be some more stuff popping off soon. Um, so yeah, not too bad for our first time talking about it. That is all for the podcast today. What a wonderful podcast as usual. But to end our podcast, we have our top three special. Basically, what a top three special is, we have a topic and we basically tell y'all what a top three is. Now, this week we switching it up. Last week it was favorite top three NBA nicknames. This week we're doing our top three villains. Something change it up a little bit, and we got some crazy villains for y'all. So I'm gonna let Dom go ahead and go first.
My number one. I ain't gonna put it in number one because this is no order. B Roof from Solo Leveling. If you know, you know. If you haven't tapped in with Solo, go tap in real quick. My number two, Thanos.
Mm.
That man said, "Yeah, I'm gonna wipe out half of the population. Life will be better, more peaceful, more calm." And he did it. My number three, Namor from Black Panther 2.
Mm. Okay.
Because
I'm
that man said, "Look, when I come back, I'm gonna kill you." That man came back off her and went back on to his life.
Yeah, bro said your mother is gone. You're a queen now. I
For sure.
said, I said, all right, Titan.
But I do gotta do a runner up because I had low key like I wanted to bump him off that say, but I didn't. I still end up doing it. Joker, Joker from Batman, just like his, I don't know the way his whole villain characteristics, everything that he did to himself was a joke. It's like he didn't take it serious. So yeah,
I rock with that. That was Namor. That was underrated. He was a good villain for Black Panther too. Junior, go ahead and give us your top three, man. Junior said he got something we wouldn't expect. Got something we wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I got a sneaky one that people might not know about, but in no particular order as well, just like Dom said. We do agree on Thanos. I got Thanos high up on my list though. I mean, this man snapped those fingers and said, "I am inevitable." I was like, "Oh my goodness, that I mean, it was gonna happen whether you stopped him then, stopped him in the future, stopped him in the past, it don't matter. It was eventually gonna happen. And he did exactly what he set his mind out to do. So very, very tough supervillain. My second on my list is Kaido for my One Piece fans. Kaido was a dragon basically. He was a human. He ate a gum gum fruit that turned him in. I mean, not a gum gum fruit, a devil fruit that turned him into a dragon. Biggest dragon anybody's ever seen, and this man was unbeatable, almost. So Kaido was high up on my list. My last one is a DreamWorks supervillain. And I watched this movie and I had no idea that it was going to be quite like this in terms of just his villainy, right? And it was Death from Puss in Boots' Last Wish. When he whistled, when I tell you that I got goosebumps, when he knocked Puss in Boots' sword out of his hand, and he just looked at that man and said, "Pick it up." I was like, "Oh my goodness." I couldn't believe it. He had my man Puss in Boots shook to his core. It was amazing. I couldn't believe I had seen anything like that. So that's my top three. I do want to give an honorable mention, however. There are several good supervillains in the One Piece anime as well. I can't remember their names, but if you watch One Punch season 1 and season 2, all of those villains towards the last at the last episodes, all of those villains are OP. Every single one of them. So shout out to them. But yeah, really Thanos, Kaido, and Death. That's my top three.
That's a good top three. Kaido, by the way, for people who don't watch One Piece, Kaido jumped from the sky and fell all the way down. He was basically trying to off himself. He just got tired of winning. And he ain't die. That man woke up, he said, I survived again. That's how OP Kaido is. And mind you, man, man, One Piece is gas. One Piece is gas. So
It's
my top
long, but it's good.
trust, honestly, for this is an unpopular opinion. If you're trying to get into One Piece and you don't want to watch the long episodes, just read it. Honestly, you'll be able to catch up in like 1 or 2 months. I kid you not. You can get through an arc in like a weekend. It's
Mm,
just that One Piece has a lot of filler, like a lot of filler episodes, almost more than Naruto. Probably not as much as Naruto because they have a lot of recap episodes after 5 episodes to recap what happened during those 5 episodes, and it's like I don't need that. Like I don't need that. Um, Obviously my top three, yeah, they all anime. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all that right now. And mind you, two of these is from Naruto because Naruto villains are really good. Number one, Itachi Uchiha. Now, quick backstory about Itachi Uchiha. That Sasuke Uchiha is one of the main characters in Naruto. That's his older brother. Bro wiped out his whole clan in a night. In one night, he wiped out his whole clan. Now, I'm not gonna give y'all the backstory on why he did that, and that's not even really spoiling anything because it's like one of the first things that they reveal in like the beginning of Naruto. But Buddy did that all in one night, easily. And man, his there's something in Naruto called the Sharingan. Basically, stuff they can. It's like an eye power. Man, his is OP. Now, my second villain is Madara Uchiha, one of the strongest shinobi in Naruto. The fourth Great Ninja War. It was basically all these villages versus one man, Madara. If you go on YouTube right now, millions of views. I kid you not. Just type in Madara versus everyone, because that's what it was. I kid you not. They were on both sides. They were in the desert, and they rushed each other. Madara handled everybody with ease. It was the craziest thing. And mind you, when they thought they got ahead, bro just dropped a meteor out the sky. He said, "What you gonna do about that meteor?" And they stopped the meteor. He's like, "Interesting. What are you gonna do about the second meteor I dropped?" It was ridiculous. And my third villain, which is another anime villain, is Don Quixote do Flamingo. Now, mind you, this is one of the best villains that One Piece has ever written, in my opinion. There's something called Conqueror's Haki. Basically, when you have the willpower of a king, he had that at about 6 years old. He
yeah.
had that. No other kid really can do that. But Dofi had it. That's his nickname. They call him Dofi. They had it at 6 years old, and that's because they were celestial dragons. Basically, that's like the higher up. That's like
Basically,
if
like a creator, like a god almost.
yeah, basically that's how you're treated. And his father was like, you know what? I don't want to be this. We're gonna become common folk. And the other people didn't like that. They basically killed his father, and him and his brother was like up there. They basically hung him up. It was kind of crazy. And he's like, yeah, if I survive this, it's up for all of y'all. He survived it, and it was up for everybody. So one of the best written villains in One Piece, man, I'd say. But that is a wrap on episode 6. Man, that it was a good podcast. I tell you, it was really good. We got more heat coming for y'all, man. Like I said, college football is coming on the way. More football, more NBA. I know the NBA Cup is right around the corner. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. But we got a lot of stuff, man. And also, if y'all got any suggestions, drop it in the comments. We on social media, top three at Bushy on YouTube and top three Bushy on Instagram and TikTok. So if y'all got any ideas, just drop a suggestion. We'll talk about it. But that is all that we have. Go Panthers, go Patriots, and peace out.